all they need is your name and the case number. And a lot of people are really surprised to hear that this stuff is public record. They're like, what?
First two, you can walk right in, and as long as you have the case number and the first and last name, you just go on the computer, pop it in, and the whole case docket of family court will pop right up. Everything.
That's why I'm always going back and forth with the arbiters, because you see people get attacked laterally on the platforms. I've seen a lot of people getting gag orders, or they're being the judges are saying you can't do this or that. So somebody can go in there and lie. If you and I are in litigation, whatever I say, it becomes part of that public record that anybody can access, whether it's true or not. I can just say it and put it in my filings. But when people say things out here and they provide evidence, somehow that's not tolerable. But them injecting it into a courtroom, which is defamatory, it's libel. And somebody who doesn't know anything about your case can go read that. They're going to draw their own opinions. Some people don't know that, well, that could be slanted information.
So basically anything could be put into those court documents or in those declarations. Anybody can accuse anybody of anything. That's the thing, is that people don't realize is like, oh, I got this docket that said this, and it's like, that may not be true unless it was ruled on or it was founded. You know, what is it? They always try to go back to you're proven until, what is it? You're innocent until proven guilty.
On family court, you're guilty until proven innocent.
That's
people that have been proving that they weren't even proven guilty.
I actually was reading something about that and actually saw a video about that they're thinking about flipping it. Why? You won't believe why. Because of AI now. It's harder to prove cases because people can create anything with AI now. So it's like they're guilty first, and then we have to prove them innocent.
Crazy.
I know you were a DV researcher and everything. There's a YouTube channel. I'll send it to you sometime. It's a like a law firm out of the Bay Area that helps people with the appeals for DV, whether they're on one side or the other. And they talked about in California, and it may be like this in many other states, all that matters is if the judge believes somebody 51% more than the other person, they don't even need any evidence. That will hold even through an appeal. So if you appeal it, the appellate court will give deference. So there doesn't have to be any evidence in California under the DVPA, only that the judge believes one person. That's all it requires, no evidence. But then I started looking into your presumption or rebuttable presumption in Family Code 3044. It says that the burden of proof is clear and convincing. But what a lot of the arbiters have been doing is they've been using based on the preponderance of evidence for the family. So they're not even using the proper burden, and people aren't catching it until it's too late. Once they put that ruling in place, that's what it says, is that whether you appeal it or not, they're going to give deference unless you have a standard of review of de novo, which is the highest standard of review you can get. What do you call it? Abuse of discretion and insufficient evidence. Those rarely cut the mustard. And de novo is still even being pushed aside, which is, it's like, what are you going to do? You know, if you have de novo, they're still not giving relief to these people at the appellate court.
Well, that's what my case constantly went through. He kept putting them into de novo. He kept pushing them aside. They kept ended up. I'll talk to you about it later down the road.
Because de novo is the standard of review. That means if the judges incorrectly use the law, it goes anew. It's
Johnny, Amanda's not ready to like do all of her cases.
We'll talk
about the case. I wasn't sure if she understood what the standard of review is.
I'm getting back into it, and I'm understanding a lot more about even though my case has been, I'm still in the court, but I'm done with it, if that makes sense. I'm understanding some things a little bit better that went on with my case. We'll talk about it later, though.
We're going to start trying to see if, like I told you, we're going to see if we can file some stuff in each court to hold them accountable, kind of like because of everything that they've been doing. But going back to the rebuttable presumption, like people can actually put that rebuttable presumption in like their declarations when they're filing these court documents, because in California, I have in my link tree where it has all the different states, but it's different for each state. I think California has a stronger presumption from what I understand. Is that what you kind of understood, Johnny? Because California has a stronger...
Thing with that 2030, the other states have some needs-based attorney's fees, but California is the only one that has, it's mandatory under certain...
So with my case, like I was able to use Family Code 3044 is what it's called. It's called a rebuttable presumption. Anybody can use that. And males use it, females can use it, anybody can use it. Some people were saying, oh, well, that's just a way to be like a scapegoat type thing, or that's a loophole, or that's a gray area. If it's there, you can use it. It helped my case so much. It took me almost a year to get everything reversed, but that rebuttable presumption is there for you guys to use it. If you find something like that, I've been saying that from the beginning. Use the rebuttable presumption, because in California, there's other laws that will lock up all your assets. It will, if you get found guilty of felony, you're screwed. You're not entitled to anything. It basically locks up your court case. You're not entitled to any retirement. You're not entitled to anything. And I'm just interested to see how many stay-at-home mothers that this is happening to, because I don't know if you've noticed, as of late, I've been looking at some videos of a lot of females that have been homeless due to domestic violence and the courts. They pop up sometimes on my feed and stuff. And I know in California, we have so much homeless people, but something like this that I went through could set you back. It set me back a lot now. And I'm still struggling to keep with everything. But if I didn't know and already had 10 years under my belt, I would not have been able to survive this.
Right.
With the experience that I already knew. I knew that the courts, because it happened to me in my previous case. Even though my first husband did something that was considered domestic violence, very serious, his lawyer submitted the evidence, basically did the rebuttable presumption. He did the classes. He had the restraining order for 2 years. He stayed away. He didn't cause any more issues. So it worked in his case. Even though he was going through all that stuff, some of these quote people are like, oh, if they're abuser, there's always one abuser. Or what was that we said last time, Amanda? There's always one abuser, or someone was saying that there's one abuser in all families, or one
in all divorces, in all divorces, at least one parent is the abuser.
Which, I mean, it psychologically yes, the other party, there may be somebody that's more emotional, but it doesn't mean that they intend to do all of that at that time. You got to understand that everything is being ripped away from them. They're in a fight or flight mode. They don't know how they're going to survive this. When it happened to me, I admit it, I was in panic. I was like, God, I even told the police officer, I said, you are going to screw my case up so much. He just told me, he's like, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. He goes, if the other party decides to file this against you, I have to just go with the law. Your hands are tied. But I don't know. It's just ridiculous. How I don't think that there is any way to get out of the false accusation thing or going through what I went through. That's going to be something that is there. And then even my past husband, my ex-husband, he's not actually my ex-husband because we're still married. So I guess we're still there. But even with him, his ex-wife filed one against him 3 years later. They approved it. Can you believe that? 3 years later, she filed a false restraining order against him and ripped away his child from him. How does that even happen? Johnny and I were talking, they have inside sources because they're in the police, or they go to court with other hearings. So they go over there and they give it to the judge to sign. Hey, sign this. Can you do me a favor? Because they are all kind of cahoots in a little bit sometimes.
Like my ex's family. Daddy was fire department. All his buddies were the county sheriffs. It was pretty easy to do what they did. Wasn't hard.
Exactly.
The thing is, with all these false accusations, how do you stop it? I mean, you hold them accountable. You hold the false accuser accountable. If they were held accountable for false accusations, I think that would slow down things a little bit, because if they were found to be false, guess what? Now we're going to fine you.
So we asked our lawyer if there was any way at the time, because we were still new in the cases, not to cut you off, but we were still new in the cases, right? And getting to know the whole legal system at the time. My ex-husband and I asked the lawyer, is there any way to hold these people accountable for doing this false accusation? They said no, because it may be true. We don't know if it is.
But they're not investigating it. That's what your GAL or your mediator is supposed to be doing, but they're not. Yeah.
Exactly. And they're just judges, actually, believe it or not, they don't investigate nothing. Judges don't do anything.
Judges aren't supposed to. It's his employees that are supposed to be doing it.
And then the mediators, Iowa Mama, we're just talking about family court reform and trying to get back to the nitty gritty of everything. Mad Manda's in her car. We just can't see her.
I will come out of the dark.
She's living in her car now. We're trying to spread that rumor. See how
I'm on the run.
She's on the run.
Reality, I'm super jealous of her right now.
I'm running to warmer weather.
I know. That's what she said. She's like, I'm running away. We're all like,
You're living in the freezers over here.
Mm-hmm.
This mine is